What if the reason you found this message today isn't an accident? What if the changes you've been waiting for have already begun, but you've been looking in the wrong direction? Most people believe a manifestation announces itself with one dramatic moment. They expect a phone call, a bank notification, an unexpected opportunity, or a life-changing event. But long before those things appear, something far more important begins to change. It happens within you. And if you don't recognize those changes, you may convince yourself that nothing is happening, even while your life is quietly moving toward everything you've been asking for. Many people miss their own progress because they are only watching the outside world. Every morning they check their circumstances before checking their thoughts. They measure their future by what they can see today. If nothing looks different, they assume nothing is changing. But the greatest transformations are almost always invisible before they become visible. Think about sunrise. Before the sun appears above the horizon, the sky begins to change. Darkness slowly gives way to light. The colors shift. The atmosphere feels different. If you only looked for the sun itself, you would miss the beautiful signs that morning had already arrived. Life often works the same way. Before your manifestation becomes obvious, your inner world begins sending quiet signals that something is changing. The first sign is not something outside you. It is peace. Real peace. Not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that quietly replaces anxiety. There comes a moment when you stop forcing everything to happen. You stop checking every hour for proof. You stop wondering whether life has forgotten you. Instead, you begin feeling calm for no obvious reason. At first, this feels strange. Your mind may even tell you that you're becoming careless. But you are not becoming careless. You are becoming trusting. The need to control every detail slowly disappears because somewhere deep inside you, certainty begins replacing fear. That is a powerful change. The second sign is that you begin thinking differently about the future. Instead of imagining everything that could go wrong, you naturally begin expecting things to work out. You notice yourself making plans again. You become excited about tomorrow instead of worried about it. Nothing outside may have changed yet, but your expectation has changed. And expectation quietly influences every decision you make. A person expecting failure hesitates. A person expecting success moves. The opportunities may be the same, but the response is completely different. The third sign is gratitude appearing before results. Most people believe gratitude comes after receiving what they want, but genuine gratitude often appears before the evidence. You begin appreciating your life without feeling the need to compare it to someone else's. You become thankful for small moments, simple conversations, quiet mornings, and unexpected kindness. Gratitude changes your focus. Instead of constantly noticing what is missing, you begin noticing what is already present. That simple shift changes the way you experience every day. Another sign is that old fears begin losing their power. Notice that I didn't say they disappear overnight. Sometimes the same fearful thoughts still appear, but they no longer control your actions. They no longer convince you to give up. You hear them, but you choose not to believe them. That is growth. Many people think confidence means never experiencing doubt. True confidence means refusing to let doubt make your decisions. Perhaps one of the clearest signs is that you stop chasing. There is a huge difference between commitment and desperation. Commitment says, I will continue growing. Desperation says, I need this immediately or I cannot be happy. When desperation fades, your energy changes completely. You become more patient, more joyful, more present. Ironically, this is often when life begins opening unexpected doors. Not because the universe rewards waiting, but because your actions become guided by confidence instead of fear. Another beautiful sign is that the right ideas begin appearing. Have you ever noticed how answers sometimes arrive while taking a walk, driving, reading a book, or sitting quietly? Suddenly a solution appears that you had never considered before. Those moments matter. Many breakthroughs begin as quiet ideas long before they become visible achievements. Protect those ideas, write them down, act upon them. They may become the very bridge between where you are and where you hope to be. You may also notice that certain people naturally leave your life while new people begin appearing. At first, this can feel uncomfortable. We often resist change because familiarity feels safe. But not everyone is meant to walk every season with you. Sometimes life creates space before introducing what truly belongs there. Do not fear those transitions. Trust them. Every chapter requires different lessons, different relationships, and different opportunities. One more sign is that you become less interested in proving yourself. You no longer need everyone to understand your vision. You stop seeking constant validation. Your confidence becomes quieter, stronger, more stable. Because your belief is no longer built upon other people's opinions, it is built upon your own inner certainty. And perhaps that is the greatest sign of all. The person who constantly needs proof slowly becomes the person who quietly trusts. That transformation cannot always be measured by the outside world, but it changes everything. Because the moment your inner world changes, your outer world eventually begins reflecting it. So before you ask yourself whether your manifestation is coming, ask something even more important. Who am I becoming while I wait? If the answer is someone more peaceful, more grateful, more confident, more patient, and more hopeful, then perhaps you are much closer than you realize. There is another sign that many people overlook because it doesn't feel dramatic. You begin enjoying the present instead of treating it as an obstacle to the future. Before, every day felt like something to survive until your desire finally appeared. Now, you find yourself appreciating the journey. You laugh more, you worry less. You stop believing that happiness is waiting somewhere ahead and begin discovering it in ordinary moments. That shift is powerful because a peaceful mind makes wiser decisions than an anxious one. You may also notice that opportunities begin appearing in unexpected ways. They may not look like the exact answer you imagined, but they move you one step closer to where you need to be. A conversation leads to a new idea. A book answers a question you've carried for months. Someone unexpectedly encourages you. A closed door redirects you toward a better one. None of these moments seem extraordinary on their own, yet together they quietly reshape your future. At the same time, life may challenge your new way of thinking. Old circumstances can briefly return, tempting you to believe nothing has changed. This is where most people give up. They allow one difficult day to erase weeks of inner growth. But remember this, temporary circumstances do not define permanent outcomes. Stay faithful to the mindset you've built. Do not let one setback convince you that your progress has disappeared. Another important sign is that your reactions begin changing. Situations that once stole your peace no longer control you. Criticism hurts less. Delays frustrate you less. You recover from disappointment much faster than before. That emotional stability is evidence that your inner foundation is becoming stronger. And when your foundation changes, your future changes with it. Never make the mistake of becoming obsessed with signs themselves. Signs are not something to chase. If you spend every day searching for proof, you return to the same state of waiting that once held you back. The real purpose of these signs is not to predict your future, but to remind you that transformation begins within. The greatest confirmation will always be the person you are becoming, not the circumstances you are measuring. So instead of asking, where is my manifestation? Ask, am I becoming more peaceful, more grateful, more confident, more trusting? If the answer is yes, then your life is already moving in a new direction. Continue choosing faith over fear. Continue expecting good things. Continue acting like someone who believes life is working with them rather than against them. One day, what once seemed impossible will simply become part of your normal life. You'll look back and realize that the first signs were never the numbers in your bank account, the phone call you received, or the opportunity that finally appeared. The first signs were the quiet changes inside you. The peace that replaced anxiety, the confidence that replaced doubt, and the gratitude that replaced frustration. Those invisible victories were preparing you for every visible blessing that followed. Conclusion, if you remember only one message from today, let it be this. Stop searching for proof that your future is coming and start becoming the person who is ready to receive it. Real transformation always begins within before it appears without. Trust the process, protect your peace, and refuse to let temporary circumstances define your permanent future. Keep believing, keep growing, and keep moving forward with quiet confidence. The greatest sign that your manifestation is near is not what you see around you. It's who you are becoming inside.